Hi, everybody. This is Lars Light from Tasting Panel Magazine, welcoming you to The Pleasure Principle, where today we're going to be speaking about liqueurs, RTDs, and aperitifs. It is my pleasure to be here on behalf of Tasting Panel Magazine, Lyre's non-alcoholic spirits, and the FIU, Florida International University's Bacardi Center of Excellence. I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed. We have a panel of incredibly experienced brand builders and educators hailing from all those spirited hotspots around the world. We've got Hamburg, we've got Vienna, we've got Salzburg, Milano, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Brooklyn is in the house, Miami, Cuba, even Providence, Rhode Island. How about that? So I want to start this off by introducing Brian Patrick Connors, who is director of the Bacardi Center for Excellence at our Center of Excellence, at Florida International University. Brian is an experienced hospitality professional. Thrilled to have you here. Brian, tell us what's going on with the great education program you guys have going on.
Hey, Mr. Lars Light, it's always a pleasure. And just as you said, we got a great lineup here. This is going to be a great conversation, what's going on in industry. And I bet you we're going to learn a thing or two as well, which is with the FIU Bacardi Center of Excellence, what we're all about. We're elevating the knowledge on spirits, but better yet, on the beverage industry as a whole. So that's where this topic today, and of course, I'm being joined, I see him nodding over there, by esteemed colleague and friend, Professor Gabe Urrutia. So, but I'll let you do that intro. You just got to roll the R's, a little bit, Lars, Here you go. But we're excited. We did just drop new courses and new information on Bacardi Teach. This is available to everyone. This is powered by all of our partners at Bacardi North America, but some great way to learn, gain content, earn badges, and we're constantly dropping new information, developing new resources for that. It's free for everyone. We will have some micro credentials coming up in the coming weeks that we will earn badges. And that's gonna be another topic next time we're all together, but check out Bacardi Teach, either at bacarditeach.com, bacarditeach.edu, either which way it's gonna get you there, but some really good, exciting new stuff coming out. And the best part about it, Lars, is that we're constantly growing. And as I love to say, we're just getting started.
Yeah, baby. It's wonderful. Relatively new program. And as I say, you never stop learning, especially in this business, in this industry. You never stop learning in life, but you never stop learning about the drinks industry. So I personally am a huge believer in the complete imbibing experience. I love starting off with an aperitif. I love finishing with a digestif or liqueur. And I'm loving this new trend for new refreshing element in our drinking patterns with the RTDs. It's an incredible category. It's starting to be bigger in volume than the total spirits category. It's lifting the aperitif category, and it's actually poised to take over wine, which is pretty shocking. So I would love our friend, Gabriel Fernando Urrutia, adjunct lecturer at FIU and the Bacardi Center for Excellence, renowned educator, author, wine and spirits industry professional, spirits guru, and our go-to guy today for spirits.
Come on, Lars, you're going to build his head up way too much.
I can't say that in front of Fabio. Now he's going to give me crap when I go to the bar. Oh my goodness. Lars, thank you so much for having me. But I think you nailed it. When we think of, aperitifs, RTDs, and liqueurs, we're able to harness these incredible ingredients. And I think that's what, during the pandemic, what made this big change. We saw RTDs grow over 62% throughout the pandemic. So you see just incredible liquids like High Noon, for example, where you're able to harness a vodka in a can with just gorgeous tropical flavors, where you can just go to the beach and you're going to enjoy something just by kind of clicking the can open, just like you did, Lars. So it's an exciting time. But of course, within that, just like you nailed it, the aperitifs are so important. So, we're going to talk to Alicia, we're going to talk to, with Saint Germain, we're going to talk to Fabio, with Martini, we're going to talk to Mozart as well. And I think, we're noticing that people want cocktails. People want to create these cocktails at home as well. So as they continue to learn with the RTDs, they're also creating just before and after dinner drinks. And we're going to kind of chat a little bit about that. So we're really excited to see what we have in the pipeline. So, post-pandemic, I think one of the things we did see is we saw some kind of new innovation come through. So part of that is RTD, but we also see some new liquids, which we see that the American palate is really starting to kind of grab onto. So we're excited.
Fantastic. Thank you, Gabe. And I also want to give a shout out to Kyle Billings, who is the National Marketing Manager for Lyre Spirit Company, another marketing strategist and consultant in the premium beverage industry. Kyle, you know, non-alcoholic, talk to us about that, because that's another category that's a relatively new thing and frankly a relatively enjoyable thing. I remember being in college and if you weren't drinking, you were regulated to club soda, which is really boring. Now there's a lot of great options. So tell us a little bit about what's going on and the name Lyres. Are you guys lying or what?
Well, first off, you hit the nail on the head, Lars. This really is about options and about choice. There's so much innovation. There's so many fun things happening. And this webinar is the pleasure principle. And we don't want to preclude anybody from having a good time, from drinking the drink that they want, the way they want to drink it. In terms of Lyres itself, I'll let, Tobias kind of go into the brand information, but the name actually, we're not trying to lie to anybody, but it's actually the name of a native Australian bird. And this bird is incredible. In the wild, it can mimic other sounds. And I'm not just talking about like trees falling or other birds, but actually the sound of a camera aperture. So we really wanted to utilize that and showcase that we can create some of the best spirits, RTDs, liqueurs as well, that taste, smell, and feel on the palate just like the classic ones that you know and love. So that's why we have it as the name Lyres.
Fantastic. That is absolutely brilliant. Thrilled to have you guys on board here. I just want to remind everybody that right now we're actually broadcasting on Facebook Live on the Tasting Panel platform, and also that this will be recorded, not only available on Facebook, but also on tastingpanelmag.com. So this will be there in posterity. So any flubs that we make or any incredible statements that we make will be here for posterity. So I'm going to kick it off with our esteemed panel by introducing, as Kyle mentioned, we have Tobias Cornelius Schoff, who is ambassador for Lyre's non-alcoholic spirits. Toby is a great spirits brand and marketing specialist. He's been in the market for 10 years, known for his guerrilla marketing. So Toby, give us some guerrilla action and tell us what's going on with Lyres.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ron. I'm pleased and honored to be on this session. And I want to say thank you in behalf of the whole Lyres team to be part of this, because it's a lot of big brands that we will hear from today and big names. And we are the new kid on the block, but we're trying to catch up and impress in our own way. As you said, I've been in the industry for a couple of years. I worked for a bunch of liquor brands over the years. Worked for liquor brands so much that I myself had the experience right before COVID that I was seeking for a non-alcoholic option, being in the field, being every day out and having cocktails, making cocktails, bartending competitions. And when I had the opportunity to join Lyres as a non-alcoholic spirits brand, I was right away amazingly impressed with the range that had been created. And I will tell you a little bit about that. But before I go into this, the subject today is RTDs, aperitifs, and liqueurs. The aperitifs are always a big part of my life. I feel like there's so much you can talk about the aperitifs, and vermouth is a part of the aperitifs. It actually comes from the German name Wermut, what stands for wormwood. What back in the day was an ingredient required in Europe for calling it vermouth. What's not so much the case anymore. As you all know, the most common and most popular vermouth are the sweet and the dry vermouth. And over the years, there's plenty of new ones: amber, rosé, extra dry vermouth. So there's a big palette. With Lyres, we have an incredible range that goes from an amaretto to a coffee liqueur, from a triple sec, our orange sec. And what we do with Lyres, we tried a very different approach. We tried to mimic the flavor of alcoholic beverages on the palate, on the nose, while having no alcohol in the bottle. So as Kyle said, and as you said, the options are the key part. Like if somebody goes to a bar and wants to have a nice craft cocktail, you can have the cocktail the way you want. You can have it as a low ABV, you can have it as a no ABV, completely non-alcoholic, or you can have your alcoholic beverage and nobody is excluded. So to wrap that up, the lineup is pretty big, but one of our very, very proud variant is the Aperitif Rosso. So that's speaking directly to the vermouth, the aperitifs. This is a sweet vermouth. And as you guys know, there's a bunch of amazing cocktails you can do. The most popular dry vermouth cocktails are the martinis, the dirty or the classic martini. The most popular sweet vermouth cocktails, obviously, are the Negronis, the Americano, the Boulevardier. So as we wanted to build a range that gives consumers, but also bartenders, the option to make a lot of cocktails as a non-alcoholic option, we created the Aperitif Rosso. And that is a delicious cocktail and a delicious liquor and spirit that you can make all these cocktails that I just named now as a low ABV or no ABV option. So if somebody comes to the bar, it makes it easy for everybody, consumers, the bartenders, to actually switch from, hey, you want a low ABV cocktail? You know how an Americano tastes. I don't have to introduce you to something new, but I can make it now as a non-alcoholic or low ABV option. So our range is going through this all through the aperitifs. We have a bunch of rums. We have a dark rum, a white rum, a spiced rum. But it also hits some of the classics, right? The whiskey, the gin. And speaking of RTDs, we developed and launched an amazing range of RTDs that gives consumers as well as bars, maybe when you're in a very busy place or you have an event, the opportunity, as you guys all said, RTDs are booming, just pop a can, put it over ice, and you have a cocktail literally ready to drink, maybe garnish it up a little bit. And that's what I will do right now. I want to introduce the Lyre's Gin and Tonic RTD for the first round. And this is basically this beautiful blue can ready to go. I've prepared a glass of ice. Everybody has that at home. And you literally can pop it open, garnish it, and get the non-alcoholic variation of a gin and tonic. So I have to repeat, the carbonation, everything, the nose, you get the quinine on it. It is very well balanced. So you have not too much of a sugary drink. You have not too much of a quinine forward drink. So the balance in this cocktail is phenomenal. And because I enjoy my G&T with a few blueberries in there, that is just my tradition. I will garnish that. I hope you guys can see that.
Beautiful.
There's my
gorgeous
non-alcoholic G&T right out of the can, speaking RTDs. That wraps up my first round, my first introduction into the Lyre's brand, and I bounce it back to you, Ron.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tobias. Thank you, Toby. Great, great. Well done. We're going to keep going in that RTD category. And as we say, kind of opening things up. I love that new category. And I'm going to ask Kimberly Roberts, who is Senior Director of Marketing for Gallo's Spirits Division. Kim leads Gallo's internal brand development team, testing and learning initiatives. And she's got two beautiful results of all those efforts that she's going to talk to us today. So Kim, welcome.
Good to be here. Hi, everybody. How are you?
Great.
Let me get my screen sharing going. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Says I am sharing.
Tomaine, any technical assistance here?
Well, there it is.
There we go. Here it comes.
All right. Of course, my internet slows down right in the exact minute I'm about to start. Can everybody see now?
Yes, Mercury is in retrograde today.
All right. Perfect. Well, hi, everybody. My name is Kimberly Roberts. I've been at Gallo about 10 years now, working in our spirits innovation team. As you can see up on the screen, this is a different high noon than the RTD high noon that's out in the marketplace today. And this is the original high noon vodka that we developed and started testing in 2017. It was 3 flavors of vodka, including an original. And we tested it in 3 cities, Charleston, Denver, and Madison. And it was doing remarkably well. The branding was well received. The liquid was very well received. And around the same time, we started to see the trends on the hard seltzer brands, especially Truly and White Claw, and started to learn that the primary way that consumers were drinking High Noon vodka was mixing it with soda water. And it was at that point, even though the High Noon vodkas were doing well as a kind of standard vodka brand, that we decided to pivot the brand into the RTD canned format that's in the marketplace today. And it was, a significant shift. And with the vodkas doing really well out in the marketplace, one of the most important decisions we had to make was if we were going to keep selling the vodkas in addition to the cans. And it was a big debate internally within Gallo of, do you try to do both at the same time? And eventually the decision was made that the cans were really the opportunity in the marketplace, especially with the trends that we were seeing. So we went full bore into into High Noon cans and launched as quickly as we could to try to get ahead of the trend going into summer of 2019.
Brilliant.
This is High Noon as you would see it out in the marketplace today. Suns Up is the new campaign that's rolling out this summer to support the brand. But High Noon was officially born in the summer of 2019, really not at the very beginning of the hard seltzer craze, but certainly we were a little bit ahead of the game relative to the the zillions of entrants that are coming into the category today. And really, as we were building High Noon and looking at the competition, we realized that we had the opportunity to go after a clear point of difference within the category, looking at both Truly and White Claw with a fermented malt base. We realized that there was probably a lot of consumers who drink vodka sodas that'd be willing to pay a little bit more to have an option that was vodka based and made with real fruit juice. And that's has proven to be true. Our product team did an amazing job, and we really do win on taste. And as we were introducing the brand, certainly the best tasting claim that we received from the tasting panel in 2020 really helped propel the brand, because then we weren't just talking about the points of difference of the brand of real vodka and real juice, but also being able to say, and best tasting, really helped us bring a lot of consumers into the brand. Here, I'm going to flip to the next slide. And a lot of the other things that have really worked well for the brand is, it meets both White Claw and Truly in terms of the nutrition facts. 100 calories, no sugar added, gluten-free. The flavors are the ones that are meeting consumer needs. Interestingly, the pineapple was the flavor that was #1 out of the gates when we launched the brand, which was the flavor that we all had originally thought was going to be the smallest of the original 4 offerings. So it just goes to show that you can guess what you think consumers are going to like, but you never get to know till you put something out into the marketplace. 4.5% ABV. So, as we're talking about consumer choice and different levels of alcohol, this really helps meet that need for something that's a little bit more sessionable and that is lower in alcohol, unlike a lot of the other canned cocktail offerings that are coming into the marketplace. So that is a little bit of the story of High Noon Sunsips. Hopefully you guys have seen them in the marketplace. And if you haven't, give them a try. I think they're delicious, and I certainly drink them as a consumer as well. Pivoting now to our aperitif portfolio, and a brand where aperitif and RTD trends are coming together for Gallo. So this is Lo-Fi Aperitifs. We developed this brand in partnership with Steve Grass from Quaker City Mercantile. And they are wine-based aperitifs, 2 vermouths and a gentian amaro, as you can see on the screen. We started these in 2016 with a very strong focus in California, because they're made with California wine grapes, vinted, bottled, grown in Napa. So winning in California was incredibly important to us. This brand has really started to do well, both in California, and now we're in 24 states around the country. But it's we're finding that it's so versatile and works in so many different cocktails. And now, especially as we have a lot of consumers who have been forced to learn how to make cocktails at home because of COVID, we're seeing a lot of consumers really gravitating to both of the vermouths as they're learning how to make those vermouth-based cocktails at home. And really what's helped Lo-Fi win in the marketplace is kind of three key differentiators. The first being there are no artificial colors or flavors. The second is its California heritage and being California made. And then the third is being wine-based, which helps Lo-Fi be able to participate and be in a lot of accounts that other Amaros or spirit-based Amaros can't play. So really those beer and wine only licenses that are starting to build cocktail menus really like Lo-Fi because it gives them another tool to build cocktails. And this is where now Lo-Fi and the RTD trends are coming together. We've introduced a canned Lo-Fi spritz in California. So it's the Lo-Fi Gentian Amaro, sparkling wine and soda water in a canned format. And really what we saw happening in the marketplace was that, you know, consumers are obviously gravitating towards ready to drink. And to make a spritz on the go requires a handful of ingredients that are fairly, you know, each on their own can be fairly expensive. And it can be hard to make when you're in the on-the-go occasion. So we thought that it would be a great idea to solve this for consumers and create a canned version that they could enjoy on the go. And so far we've tested it in 30 accounts in Northern California and are now in the process of expanding it to the entire state of California and are seeing a lot of great success with the brand. And Lars, I know I'm 27 seconds over, so now I'm done.
Thank you, Kim. So I have a real fast question, two fast questions for you. Number one, you mentioned that High Noon as a bottled brand of vodka has gone away and yielded to the canned RTD. What's the story with Lo-Fi Spritz? Is that still available in the bottles as well as the cans?
Yes, the Lo-Fi will continue to be available in the glass. We think with that brand, having the glass versions are important to validating the canned spritz offering. And they've got a lot of traction in mixology, especially in California. So we intend on keeping the glass version of Lo-Fi Aperitifs.
Very cool. And one last question for you. When, if one of your products is served behind the bar, you know, and I know that the whole idea of RTDs is just go, you drink it out of the can, you drink it out of whatever you got. But if you were want to give advice to a barman, a professional, a mixologist or a pourologist, I think they're becoming today, if they're behind the bar and they pop open a can, what's the best glass to serve it in?
Oh, I think a nice big wine glass with a lot of ice and then garnish it with the orange.
I love it. I love it. I think Toby gave us a
The
good
bigger the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Well, thank you. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Kim.
everybody.
All right. So next up, Fabio Raffaele, who is the Martini and Rossi brand manager for North America. He's been a barman across Europe and New York and is now in Florida. He's worked in a ton of fine dining establishments and has become very well known for his service-driven style and elegance. So Fabio, welcome. Talk to us about Martini and Rossi.
This was very funny as an introduction. Very recognized by my elegance. That's very good.
That's what your bio says, man.
Yeah, I know. Thank you very much. So guys, well, Martini, as you know, is a brand with more than 150 years of history. We've been in US. I think we've been the first ever vermouth imported here in the United States. We've been in this country for more than 120 years. So we still have the same core range, which is the Bianco, Rosso, and the Extra Dry. And then we launched a couple of innovations through the years. So the one that I want to just highlight briefly today is the Two Riserva Speciale Vermouth. I want to just to reiterate what exactly is vermouth. So when we do presentation in Bacardi, we came out with this beautiful way to remember the word, the word of vermouth, which is the wash, the word wash. So vermouth is a combination of wine, alcohol, sugar, herbs, and spices. But just remember, each vermouth that's coming from Europe has to contain the Artemisia or the wormwood. So there are more than 200 varieties of Artemisia around the world. Yeah, you just have to contain one of those varieties to be called vermouth if it comes from Europe. In United States, it's not mandatory. So in United States, you can have a wine, the addition of the alcohol, sugar, and a bunch of herbs and spices. And if it's low ABV, you can label as a vermouth. So the Riserva Speciale that we have in Martini, so I see one of the main things because we are doing this session today is because the world of low ABV and RTD, it's really, really starting to become big. So many people start to invest and open new company related to vermouth or to low ABV Amaro and the aperitivo in general as a category. But I see that the whole company, especially from Italy and from France, so I'm talking about Martini, Cinzano, I'm talking about Cocchi or Cocci, whatever you prefer to say it. They are starting, since they already have a portfolio that is very consolidated, they are starting to invest in premium vermouth. So this is the next stop, I think, the next step here in the United States. Understand and try to understand what to buy and when to buy a regular vermouth and a premium vermouth. So for my brand, the premium vermouth are the Riserva Speciale, Rubino and Ambrato. One thing that I want to just to highlight, generally when you buy a sweet vermouth, you see that the color is brown. When you buy a bottle of Rubino from Martini and Rossi, the color is absolutely ruby red. And the reason is when you buy a sweet vermouth, generally the color is coming from the caramel. Using the caramel, there's no any red wine inside. 99% of the vermouth are generally based on white wine. But in the Rubino, you have this ruby color that is coming with the addition, just a small percentage, like a 2 to 6% of Nebbiolo grapes, the base of Barbaresco and Barolo. So very important Italian grapes from Piemonte. Yeah. And in the Ambrato, which is yellow pale, you're gonna have an addition of Moscato Bianco grapes, the classic Moscato Dusty wine grapes. And my last innovation, it's about this product that I have right here in front of you, which is the Fiero. So if you take any of other products from Martini, you're gonna see right here the word vermouth. But in this case, the word vermouth is on the back. What's the reason? So when you try to make a recipe for a vermouth, you're always trying to find a balance. So something that you can be mixed in cocktail or something that you can taste just with ice and a slice of orange. In the case of this product, it's not balanced. What's the reason? Has been created with the only purpose to be mixing 3 different types of cocktail. So with soda, 50-50, so equal part with tonic water, and then with the classic spritz, which is a combination, as you all know, sparkling wine, 1 bitter component, and just a splash of sparkling water. So it's a completely different type of vermouth. That's why we decide to don't label as a vermouth, just to don't create confusion, but just as an aperitivo. So when you buy this or you want to try this, as always, to be mixed with one of these 3 things or inside one of the cocktails that you want to create.
Most awesome.
I've been too fast. I'm sorry.
No, you're perfect. Thank you, Fabio. So Martini and Rossi is still based in Milan, correct? Milano?
No, it's in Torino, in Pessione.
Torino,
like,
okay.
Yeah, like a 20 kilometers outside of the city of Torino. Yes.
Great.
And it's one of the oldest houses in Italy for vermouth and aperitivo category in general.
Fantastic. And it sounds to me, if I understood everything correctly, the source is mainly local wines, mainly Piemontese juice.
Yes. So for the core range, we source wine for all over Europe, but generally it's Emilia Romagna in the center of Italy, and then from France and from Spain, because the request of the core range, so Bianco, Rosso, and Extra Dry, it's huge. We are talking about millions of bottles. For the Riserva Speciale, which is also certified Vermouth di Torino, our sources are only in Italy. So it's Emilia-Romagna, Sicily, and Piemonte.
Fantastic. I can remember on a hot summer day in visiting my family outside of Rome, and my aunt, a good contadina, an Italian farm girl, pulled out of the refrigerator on this hot day. She pulled out a bottle of Martini Bianco and served it to me nice and chilled. And it was the absolute refresher. Just lifted my spirits and got me going again.
That's absolutely the thing that each family is carrying in Italy, Martini Bianco. When you walk in, it doesn't matter what time of the day, they give you Martini Bianco with a slice of lemon and ice.
Can't beat that. That's great. All right. Grazie, Fabio. Thank you very much.
Guys. Thank you. Pleasure.
So up next, we have Brian Tilbury, who is the Senior Division VP of Chopin Imports. Brian leads all U.S. sales and supplier relationships. He is another respected brand builder with great experience on the wholesale and suppliers side. So welcome, Brian.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here. So let's jump right into this. I'm very, very excited to be launching our new artisanal liqueur line called Botanica Angelica. And it all starts at our Chopin distillery. This distillery was founded in 1896. It was owned by the Polish government through communism. And when communism fell, Tad Dorda, our owner and founder, bought that distillery and started bringing the potato vodka to the US in 1993. So exciting for us. We not only make vodkas there, this distillery has been making liqueurs and vodkas and other spirits for over 100 years, which is really, really exciting for us. So this is the new line. We're coming out with 5 new flavors. It's an Amaro, a bitters, a lemon, an orange, and elderflower, ranging in ABVs from 25 to 40%. The picture on the bottle and the name is kind of an omen to the Slavic goddesses. So we wanted to kind of pay tribute to them and you know, really kind of give it a unique and special look. So I think the key thing here is, look, consumers want real ingredients. They want to know what's in their bottle. The US consumer wants to, you know, they want to know what they're drinking, what they're putting in their body, and that's important to us, and that plays really well with us. And so, you know, there's a lot of words on this page, but the two things that I want to point out is no preservatives, no artificial flavors. That's key to us. It's about purity, and it's about doing things the right way. So how it's made in small batches. We start with our Chopin rye, which we've been making for a long time at the distillery. The maceration process, you see there, that's Tad Dorda, that's the owner, both there by the large clay vats, and then the Polish oak vats that we rest everything except for the orange and lemon in. But really exciting. I mean, we're macerating this stuff all separately and then master blending it together and then resting it. And we're really excited about what we're be able to bring to the marketplace. And the idea is, look, versatility, right? Like, we've seen that RTDs are blowing up. We're seeing low alcohol blow up. And, you know, we think that we've got some interesting things to offer, and that makes it exciting. So whether it's having it, you know, I'm having it neat here, but having it on the rocks or having it with soda or just elevating a cocktail, we want to be a part of that experience. So the first one is the Amaro. This is probably my favorite out of the 5. Funny story, this has been made at the distillery for over 100 years. Something that's really exciting. Again, we start with our Chopin rye as our base. We macerate for an average of 8 weeks to 16 herbs and spices. I will give 3 because it is a big secret and a coveted secret, but it's got anise, clove, and gentian root. But what I get out of this Amaro, again, being 40 ABV, I feel that it's the perfect balance between both pastry and medicinal flavors. So you get kind of that nuttiness up front, but then finishes in mid-palate and finishes with these medicinal notes that are just really beautiful. I'm really excited to get this out there. And again, this is starting to hit the shores now. It should be in all top tier states within the next 15 days. Next one is our bitters. Again, starting with our Chopin rye as our base spirit, we take 8 herbs and fruit, macerated in clay separately. Some things like ginseng, coriander, orange, gentian root, anise, cinnamon, and thyme. For me, we then take it and we rest it in oak. And for me, with this one, what I really like about this is it's a perfect balance between the bitterness of Campari and the smooth fruitiness of Aperol. Both are incredible spirits, but this kind of plays in between, which I really love. And again, I mean, it's fantastic. It'd be great in a Negroni, and I also think it'd be great just with some soda water. Next, we have our elderflower liqueur. Again, this has been made at the distillery for over 80 years. Again, our base is the rye vodka. We then air dry the elderflowers on linen sheets for 2 months. We then take 2 months in clay pots to let them macerate. It's rested in oak and 25 ABV. So again, with this one, you get kind of these sweet floral notes in the nose. And then I almost get like these notes of like Sauterne a little bit in the nose, but then it just kind of explodes into this really beautiful floral finish. Again, I think it's going to be fantastic for cocktails or for having on its own. The next one is lemon. Funny story behind this one as well. So this has been made at the distillery for over 40 years. It's actually called Lemon Tree if you buy it in Poland. The issue was in Poland, we don't filter it at all. So there's pulp in it. And what we found in the past in the US is US consumers don't like pulp in their spirits. That's not something that they're very into. And so we've stripped that out. But with this, this is one of the only ones, this and the orange are the only ones that we don't rest in oak. It's at 35 ABV, but we do macerate it and put it in clay pots. But it's similar to limoncello, but has more of a freshness and a brightness that I really enjoy. And it's awesome, and it's not cloyingly sweet, right? Like it's a really good balance between the alcohol, the sugars, and the acidity. And then the last one is Botanica Angelica Orange. Again, we use our rye as our base spirit. We macerate it with orange peels for 4 months in clay pots. This is 40 ABV. And again, this is not overly orangey. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can get these spirits that it can be a little overly orangey. I feel like this is more orange with a little bit of that bitterness because of the peels. But again, just some really cool depth to it and something unique. And again, coming in at 40 ABV, so great for cocktails and to add or have on its own with some soda water. And that's it. I think I went pretty fast.
You did. You're right on time, man. Thank you for that. I have a couple of questions for you, though. The Amaro. You know, I'm an Amaro head, as Connors will know. I'm a Fernet guy. A friend of Fernet is a friend of mine. Talk to me about your Amaro. What's the profile like? The color looks similar to Montenegro, some of those softer Amaros. What's the profile like on that?
I would say it's got those pastry notes up front. Like I said, it's got that soft nuttiness up front. But you are not missing that medicinal, right? In the mid palate, it grabs your palate and it finishes with a really nice medicinal kick, which I really enjoy. I don't like it when it's too sweet or it's too pastry style all the way through to the finish. Right. I want a little bit of that medicinal to have me come in and have another sip.
Now, you said this is traditional. This is not a new market product. It's going to be new to the US, but this is traditional in Poland?
Yes. I mean, if you have a cold and you're in Poland, Tad is sending you a bottle of this stuff. Let me tell you. Awesome. That's what, I mean, it's a surefire cure for anything.
And I'm sure I've had some Polish food, and I know you could definitely use an Amaro afterwards. Polish mothers like to feed you well. So that's great. That's very awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
All right. All right. So next up we have Alicia, who is going to talk to us a bit about Saint Germain. Alicia is the global brand builder. She's the national ambassador for Saint Germain. She has been in the luxury, beauty, fashion, and lifestyle and media industries, and she's really recognized for her fresh approach to marketing. So Alicia, welcome.
Hello, everyone. It's so great to see all of you. I'm super excited today to help you learn a little bit more about Saint Germain, which is an artisanal French elderflower liqueur. I am going to pull up a presentation. Just share my screen. Okay, perfect. And presentation mode. Okay, can everyone see?
Perfect.
All right, well, welcome to the making of Saint Germain. So as I said, Saint Germain is a elderflower liqueur. We are made in France and we use artisanal methods to create this beautiful liqueur. So if you've never heard of elderflowers before, they are these really beautiful blossoms that grow off of elder trees. So the blossoms sprout right before berries. So if you were to leave these elderflowers on the tree, they would actually turn into elderberries, which quite a few people are familiar with elderberries. But the thing about the blossoms is that they have this incredible, delicate, aromatic nuance to them, a really unique flavor profile that actually pairs with every spirit you can think of. When I taste Saint Germain, I get beautiful notes of honeysuckle, tropical fruit, stone fruit. So when you think of pairing it with another spirit, you know, I think of when I pair this with a bourbon, how those stone fruit notes really come out, or when I pair this with a gin, how the beautiful floral notes come out. So Saint Germain really is this incredible versatile liqueur. And obviously we know that low ABV is booming right now, but if you may not know that liqueurs is actually the fourth highest growing spirit since our whole pandemic COVID situation. So people are actually creating cocktails at home, and Saint Germain is the perfect liqueur to really help you extend your cocktail making at home. But it was certainly created with bartenders in mind. So Rob Cooper is the founder of Saint Germain, and he created this product during the second golden age of cocktails. So the late 2000s, we really see this return to fresh ingredients. We're using fresh juices. We have bartenders who are really approaching cocktails with this culinary sense and this whole professional career really developing in terms of bartending. And Rob Cooper wanted to create a liqueur that these bartenders could really be able to push their creativity, push their flavor profiles to the next level. Now, as I told you before, Saint Germain is based off of elderflowers. We pick our elderflowers from Hungary and France, and then it goes through this process that I'm going to walk you through right now. So elderflowers are quite delicate flowers. As soon as you pick elderflowers, they actually start to wilt. So we really focus on fresh elderflowers, which means that we really have to think about the details and think about how do we keep the integrity of these elderflowers so that we can get the maximum flavor profile, which is why Saint Germain is so evocative and just really has such a rich flavor profile. So basically within 24 hours of us picking our fresh elderflower blossoms, they then have to be macerated. We cannot go beyond 24 hours or we really lose that flavor profile that we're looking to capture to create Saint Germain. And it goes through an incredible amount of quality checks. So we really are looking for that beautiful white, creamy, not blemished elderflowers. We then pick those are immediately refrigerated. We usually have a maceration set up very close to our harvest areas. And like I said, within 24 hours, those blossoms are then they go through our maceration process, which is called dynamic maceration. And that's basically, I always kind of give the example of, taking a tea bag and putting it in warm water. Dynamic maceration is just basically tepid water that is also moving in a circular motion. And that really helps to extract all of the flavors and all of the aromatics that we're looking to capture in our flower concentration. Then that liquid is then taken to Palais de Benedictine, which is the same place that produces our heritage Benedictine. So we're in really great hands. And then we go through our blending process. So we just take our elderflower infusion, and then that is blended with beet sugar, eau de vie, so a little bit of brandy to really bring out that elderflower essence. We also bring the ABV up with a neutral grade spirit, and voila, you have a Saint Germain. So I really love to enjoy Saint Germain in a spritz cocktail. That's one of my favorite ways to enjoy Saint Germain. If you've never had a Saint Germain spritz, I definitely say start there. Or if you've ever not had Saint Germain, I say start at a spritz, because you really get to taste the flavor of Saint Germain. I love to do 1.5 parts of Saint Germain, and then 2 parts of sparkling wine, 2 parts of sparkling water. I always do a lemon essence right on the top to just really bring that brightness, and voila, you have a Saint Germain spritz.
Lovely. Love that. Erlisha, my introduction to Saint Germain was actually with a sort of version of the spritz that had Sauvignon Blanc. What's your take on that?
Oh, absolutely. So it's so funny. I'm in Miami right now at the Bacardi offices, actually, and we are going through an onboarding with our new ambassadors. And as we were going through our tasting, so many were telling me how it really reminded them of like a Sauvignon Blanc. And so 100% Saint Germain, I think when you think about the spritz category, we really are an incredible base to a spritz, because we're so nuanced and because we're so delicate in flavor. You really can switch out any kind of sparkling wine or any kind of even flavored sparkling water and create your own version of a Saint Germain spritz. So we really do offer that versatility that you can't sometimes get with other bitters and Amaros and other liqueurs on the market.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Erlisha. I know you got to run too, but that was a great presentation. And
I do. Such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
I thought it was rough making wine from grapes that had a limited lifespan, but boy, from flowers.
Seriously, rush against the time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're gonna take a dip back into the non-alcoholic stretch for a minute before we wrap it up with something sweeter. And I'm going to ask Toby to tell us a little bit more about what Lyre's has on the table.
Wonderful. I think I'm unmuted. Yes, I am.
Good.
Wow.
Good,
what a session. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I love what I saw with Kim and the innovative part. I saw Fabio with the aperitifs, what wants to make me dive into everything from the Aperol to the Campari. Brian's natural ingredients hit the nail on the head. Speaking of what consumers want these days, they want to know what's in the bottle. They want to have options. They want to have natural, great ingredients. And then obviously what Alicia finished with, she said the low ABVs are so booming, and not only the NA, but also the low ABVs. I literally want to invite you all to make a cocktail with Lyre's and all of your products, and we can share these recipes around the world. Coming back to that, speaking of the range, 2 of the variants that I did not talk about in the first session was one of our most incredible liqueurs and spirits is the Italian orange, what is basically the equivalent mimicking the flavor of a Campari. So there you have the ingredient where you can make now a low ABV Boulevardier for somebody who wants to do the whiskey and still wants to use the Martini Rosso. Or we have the Italian spritz, what is basically our Aperol. And that is interesting when Brian said that his product is basically right in between these two. We offer both now as non-alcoholic options, but I mean, this panel is incredible, informative for me. And I want to really taste all of these products with Lyre's. So what we did here is creating these variants because, again, you can make a lot of cocktails, and that's what bartenders are looking for. When they have somebody sitting in front of them and you ask for a low ABV cocktail, you change the recipe of the cocktail very quickly if you don't have real options. even using any of the products of Kim, Fabio, Brian, and Alicia, the full flavor profile of the cocktail will change. If somebody says, can you make that as a low ABV or no ABV? We give the alternative to the bartenders. And yeah, Mark Living's our founder. He couldn't get away with RTDs if he wouldn't have nailed one of the most popular that everybody today spoke about, the spritz. And so we created a complete non-alcoholic Amalfi spritz. This is a home run. It's really refreshing. It's well balanced. Once again, it's all about balance, right? It's all about getting a little bit of the sweetness, get a little bit of the orange peel notes, a little bit of the bitter notes, getting the vermouth feeling, but not all bitter. So I will have the pleasure, and this time I will drink it actually, once we are done, to open our Amalfi Spritz that is ready to go. And yeah, if you're not a bartender and you don't know how to make a Spritz at home or have not all ingredients, this is your take home, take to the beach, take to the sport event alternative. It's this, again, well carbonated, well balanced, and I will fill it all up because I will really drink it. It's hot in Pasadena today. And you can't leave out an orange peel. So when we talk about Lyres, I have the pleasure to work with all these brands because we do tap into the low ABVs. We want to give people options. We want to be at the bar, the one that includes everybody. Getting some oil, nice on the rim. Nice. Putting the peel in. Yeah, so our third ready to drink option, even though it's a little bit out of category from the spritz or aperitif section, is our classico. And that is basically a Prosecco. So you could make your own spritz using the Prosecco, using the Italian spritz at home, or you can just get it ready to drink in the can and take it anywhere you want. That sums up a little bit what we have with Lyres, but I want to again introduce using all the products. Also want to say, please, if you have some questions, anything you want to reach out to us, go to www.lyres.com. We have tons of recipes, so maybe we can do some low ABV recipes from our website with a lot of these products. And last but not least, if you want to follow me on Instagram, Lyres Spirits Co is our handle, and my personal is Savant of the Spirits. I think that sends my cheers from Pasadena with our ready to drink Amalfi Spritz.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Toby. I love it. I love the professionalism. You know, it reminds me of when I've dined with, sometimes I do keep company with vegetarians and vegans, I have to admit. And I love when they're shown respect by the chef or the restaurateur. They don't just, oh, we'll make you an omelet, you know, or we'll make you a salad. They come up with something much more creative. And I think what you guys are offering through Lyres is fantastically creative and professional. So compliments to that. Thank you.
Ron, what you actually hit on, if I can quick say something,
Please.
is this, you know, vegan and vegetarian is one of these perfect examples where 10, 15, 20 years ago, you went into restaurants, the options weren't there. There was a chef finding an option in the kitchen saying, okay, I make you a salad or make you something. But it wasn't on the menu. It wasn't available. And now, I mean, as extreme as fast food restaurants, but every hotel, resort, restaurant has options for vegetarian and vegan, because people were laughing about that there's no industry. People want to have options. People want to take a break. People want to have a little bit healthier lifestyle. And our range is low on low on calories and has these options exactly as a vegan and vegetarian for the drinking population.
Amen. I love it. As Gabe has called it, it's low or no. It's a lot of nice options out there. That's really cool. So thanks
for having me.
Excellent. So to bring it all together, as the Latins said, dulcis in fondo, the sweetest for the last, we have Holger Hugelsberger, who is the International Sales Director for Mozart Chocolate Liqueurs. He's got his MBA in National Marketing and a 20-year career in the spirits industry. Coming to us live from Vienna, but virtually from Salzburg. Holger, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lars. All the best greetings and wishes from Austria, the heart of Europe. It's already 10 p.m. over here. You see the wonderful town of Salzburg in my virtual background, as I'm representing the Mozart distillery, which is located in this beautiful city, which is the birth town of the famous composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And also that's why we are called the Mozart distillery, by taking this famous name and trying to be a bit like Wolfgang Amadeus with taking, being crafted, having wonderful compositions, having something sweet, something everyone likes. So we try to have our liqueurs be a little bit like his music. Actually, like you said already, I'm not in Salzburg, I'm in Vienna. So I will come back to my not as beautiful meeting room, but I tried my best, to have a little bit of my friend here with the big Mozart and our wonderful collection of the various chocolate liqueurs that we're producing. I think I now try to share my screen.
Great.
Yeah. Getting to the brand presentation. So what is Mozart chocolate liqueur? Important for me is that you remember we're not a cream liqueur, whatever. All we do is we're creating liquid chocolate experience. Yeah, we are a chocolate liqueur. And whatever flavor we do, the main base is always chocolate. So we always say we combine the best of two worlds. We take chocolate and we take spirits. When it comes to chocolate, there's a nice saying that 9 out of 10 people in this world love chocolate, and we know that every 10th lies. So we get 100%, you know? And what we really found out, and that's also what you said with RTDs and aperitifs, we are really facing a very, very good development. So even we had the crisis, especially in the on-trade with COVID, we find out that people are more and more interested in what they drink. They are mixing at home. In our case, they're even using the products for baking. But we've grew in the crisis. We grew our business by 40% last year, and we're up 60% for the first half of this year. So we really see an incredible, very nice development. And like Brian also said, that people especially want to know what they're drinking, and they are fond of getting natural ingredients and all of that. And this is what we're able to offer with Mozart. The history of the Mozart distillery dates back to 1841 with the foundation of the distillery in Steinhagen in Germany. And then in 1954, the distillery came to Salzburg. And then, very important for us is in 1979, we started, with all the knowledge about producing spirits and liqueurs, we started to produce the first chocolate liqueur. And since then, now 42 years already, we have learned how to produce chocolate liqueurs. And that's not really an easy topic, quite honestly. We'll come to that. And we've created not only the milk chocolate, but today we also have a white chocolate, dark chocolate, etc. So we grew the range over time. Today we're available in more than 50 countries worldwide. Actually, I had a look at 60 countries now already. Since 2016, we are part of the Marussia Beverages Group, which is a group of artisan craft producers, from whiskey in the Isle of Skye to Japanese whiskey, etc., etc. So also very good for us that we are part of this group now. And the global travel retail segment is very important. And our biggest markets are the US, Russia, Japan, and of course, our core markets, Germany and Austria. What is very important, we are still a craft distillery. We are a producer of craft chocolate liqueurs. Why is that? Because with every liquid we do, we take real maceration processes. We only use natural ingredients. Everything still today is handcrafted, even with the foil that you see with every bottle. It's like, you know, everything is hand wrapped and giving a hand wrapped finish at the end. What are we using? We're using, again, only the real stuff. So we take cocoa beans, we macerate them. We take vanilla, we macerate it. Then we distill those macerates. Our alcohol base is out of sugar beets. That's also why we're gluten-free. And in one case with our Mozart Dark, we're even vegan. Then we take the macerates, the distillates, and we add real Belgian luxury chocolate. We add cream, and all of these ingredients are natural, so no artificial flavors and aromas used for our products. We take the ingredients, we macerate them, we distillate them. Maceration can take up to 4 months even, yeah. And then very important for us is the blending phase, which is a secret. I couldn't even tell you how it is really done, because we work with different temperatures and all of this, so that we're getting the quality that we have today. And we've done this for more than 40 years now. For example, the distillation process, something interesting, we use vacuum distillation, because when we found out when we distilled it before, if you get too high temperature, that burns the cocoa and gets bitter. Yeah, so we really gained experience and are even doing this today, but we think we really have a great quality already. So we offer the world of chocolate in liqueurs. We have milk chocolate with our wonderful chocolate cream. Then, of course, very important is white chocolate. So there is no cocoa in it, but cocoa butter, which is being used. Then, actually, my favorite, it's the Mozart Dark chocolate. It's also the real, the best one to mix it, because you can nearly do everything. We'll come to that in a minute. In the bar. Then we had a new one, which is a chocolate white strawberry. White chocolate strawberry, especially for the US, a great article for pumpkin martinis and whatever you can do, especially for the fall season. It's Mozart pumpkin spice, which has chocolate aroma, but still also cinnamon, anise, clove, all of these things. And our latest product, it's really, really great. It's a combination of the two of the most favorite flavors in the world, chocolate and coffee, and we will also bring this to the US in fall this year. All of them, you know all these tastes in the chocolate world, and you can as well drink these tastes and have a very nice dolce after a wonderful meal, or just enjoy chocolate whenever you would like to. We're winning awards every year, very nice and important. We've been awarded, and we're really a small player in the world of all the big boys out there. We were awarded by IWSC Liqueur Producer of the Year in 2017 and in 2020, which was a real honor for us because of the quality of the whole portfolio. Drinking it neat is wonderful and perfect. Normally, I like to drink it out of such a liqueur glass. You can do it as well in a tumbler glass. We have some nice little cupcakes that we offer as well, where you can do, for example, dessert chocolates, cocktails, like you see them here. Especially, I would like to get your attention on our Mozart classic cocktails, because every cocktail that you know, you can make a cocktail out of this, meaning give it a chocolate twist, doing an old-fashioned, doing a chocolate espresso martini. All of this really gives a chocolate twist to your drinks. And this is something, again, chocolate works with everything. It works with herbs, it works with fruits. There are 1,000 aromas, even with spices, like chili, herbal aromas. Everything really goes very well with chocolate and cocoa. And this is why our products are so versatile, and you can have such great cocktails there. And drawing your attention to our website, Mozart Chocolate Liqueurs. Like you see here, you find a lot of recipes, including videos, how to do it, chocolate old-fashioned, chocolate margarita, etc., etc. So really very versatile and great product.
Fantastic. Thank you, Holger. A fast question for you. What is the ABV of the Mozart liqueurs?
So the lighter versions, like our white chocolate and the white chocolate strawberry, are 15%, so 30 proof, and all others are 17% of alcohol.
Nice. Well, as they say, everything's better with chocolate, right? Until they invent a bacon liqueur.
No, but then you can, again, you remember what I told you with the mixability? You can do a bacon chocolate cocktail.
Love it. That's fantastic. Holger, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That was great. I'm just going to ask you to take your screen down. Wow. Well, like, as I promised you folks, what a great lineup of wonderful products and incredibly experienced professionals. That was fantastic. And Gabe, can you give us, professore, can you give us a professor, sorry. Can you give us a little bit of a wrap up of what we just went through? You know, the proverbial cigarette after this experience.
I am honored, you know, just to have these industry experts that just are so knowledgeable. You know, we're lucky, and I think it was Tobias who said it, that we are in a time and place of just transparency, ultimately superior ingredients in spirits, in RTDs, in the low and no's as well. And we are just lucky to be able to kind of be living during this time where we have these type of options. So I don't know, the way I look at it, I see RTDs, I see the low ABV and the no alcohol segment as something that is here to stay for a very, very long time. And as we can see, it's going to continue to explode. So it's an exciting time for us. And I want to thank Lyres, and I want to thank the rest of the gang here for putting together something special. So for me, on behalf of the Bacardi Center of Excellence, we're excited to continue working with all of you. So if you want to chat and maybe drop those decks off, we can give them to the professors, and we can continue having that conversation on these brands.
Amen. I love that. Well, thank you very much. And guys, stay tuned. Keep an eye out for the tasting panel to watch our recap of today's webinar, and you will also see it on tastingpanelmag.com. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you to all our panelists for your dedicated time and knowledge today. Very much appreciated. Thank you to FIU and the Bacardi Center for Excellence. And thank you to Lyres, our sponsors. We will see you guys next time. I'm going to check my schedule real fast. We're going to be back on August 23rd. We're going to do Rock Stars of Rum. So very much looking forward to that. So thank you again all today, and we'll see you soon. Ciao. Thank you from the Tasting Panel Magazine.